So here's a popular one. I've heard this one a few times.
Yeah.
It reads, how does the average audiophile gauge a reference for what is true to real life with modern music where a lot of sounds and instruments are either not real, created digitally, or are real instruments that are heavily digitally altered? Popular question, that's a doozy.
Yeah.
So how do you know if it's right? Everyone always says, well, this sounds just like being there, or something to that extent, right? But how do you know?
Well, back in the day, they had a commercial. Is it live or is it Memorex?
It's just like that. It's just like Memorex.
Yeah.
Is it just like Memorex?
Just like Memorex.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even think Memorex even makes tape anymore, do they? I don't think anyone makes
Tapes
tape.
aren't too
anybody
popular.
makes Yeah.
Someone's making reel-to-reels.
Yeah, even
They're
that.
expensive.
Yeah,
I think it's
even that.
$100 a reel or something.
Probably pretty low
No,
volume
no,
these
no, way
days.
more. Oh, blank.
Blank,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no one's really making tapes. Can you
Yeah.
buy cassettes anymore?
Yeah.
Got to be able to get
Probably, yeah.
Well, they might be NOS though. At
some.
this point, I don't know.
Well, that would be bad.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still manufactured.
Like
I would
brand new?
imagine
It's funny
so.
how we don't know that.
Well,
but we
because I
don't.
know like they don't make like tape decks anymore. Like there's like one Chinese manufacturer that makes like a cheap one, and they put
Yeah.
it in everything.
Tape is still common for data backup.
That's true.
So presumably the media is still manufactured, but maybe it's only specialty stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't really look into that
Yeah.
much. Just run some Metal
Archival
Masters, new
stuff.
old stock from the 1400s.
Ooh. New old. Those are getting expensive.
They're not cheap. No,
Like $30 each per tape.
I don't know what they're going for these days.
Well-
They're pretty expensive.
Well, you don't need tape to create synthesized music.
You do not.
No.
Well,
So-
some people probably do.
Well, you
Yeah.
might probably want to record it to tape because then it'll sound better.
Oh.
But how do you know if it's right?
Right.
How do you know if it's real or sounds like it does?
Yeah.
Well, you would need to be. If it's a live event, you would need to be there
Yeah.
when it was recorded.
It's a real doozy though, because there's big differences.
That would help.
Yeah.
So when you're listening to the actual thing, you're standing some distance away from all the people, the instruments, whatever's happening. And if it's an amplified instrument, you're hearing it through whatever gear that they have hooked up there, whatever processing they're doing. You're hearing all of it, right? But when you're hearing the recording, a lot of times the processing is different and the mics are in a different spot than you would be hearing if you were a native listener standing in front of the equipment. So it's tough. How should it sound? Should it sound like when you're standing there in the audience, or should it sound like where you would hear if your head was physically where this mic is?
I know
That's
in
a real
particular with
doozy.
like especially electric guitar, it's a problem because placement of mics is a big thing on like amps and stuff, and you know it sounds different depending where you put it on the amp, and who's to say which way is the right way, right?
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, you got the guitar plugged in, so you're recording that, and you got mics all around
yeah.
picking up the ambient.
Mhm.
So, but that's part of it is like, knowing a lot of people play guitar. It
Yeah.
seems like at least half our customer base at some point, somebody in the family plays guitar. So I think a lot of people probably know what guitar sounds like, even in a live setting, especially if you got someone that plays acoustic or something.
well, acoustic would be the yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's less electronic interference.
Yeah, so you kind of get a sense of that, the string decay and how, the way that the harmonic structure of strings in general, piano and so on, and just string instruments. I think that's when those are wrong, when that sound is wrong, the brain picks that up and knows it right away. The harmonics will be off. So on a shitty synthesizer or something like that, right, where you're creating it, that would be one way to tell where you're just like, it sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like a real string. Or it just suddenly stops
Yeah, well, that's the
resonating,
thing.
right?
Yeah, a lot of the like cheaper synths, yeah, they don't have that like natural sounding.
Yeah,
decay
it
to 'em.
doesn't decay and roll off over time. like
But
it's
how do you know if
supposed
it's natural sounding?
Well, that's the thing.
yeah.
It's just from your experience
Yeah,
of hearing
to. You have to have a reference point for
real
sure.
instruments being
Yeah.
played.
The guitars are cheap enough. Go buy one.
Oh, go for just
or just get the
we gotta
strings
learn
and
how to
stretch
play
them
it.
out. Go
yeah,
learn.
that's one approach.
Yeah.
Go learn how to play
When
guitar.
we were kids, they had the toy guitars, and the strings were just like nylon,
Oh yeah,
whatever the hell it's called, string or different thicknesses. They were plastic strings. And
that's
even
not
that
a very
makes
good
noise.
reference though.
No.
That's not to what actual musicians.
You can even
play.
resonate with a piece of thread if you wanted to, really
Well,
stretch the
yeah.
thread and twang it. So what I'm saying is all materials resonate, and when you tension them like that, you can get a feel for what this stuff sounds like pretty easy. Hell, I would just go rap on a fridge door or something like that. Remember when you were doing a refrigerator video?
Mm.
That was a good video.
Yeah.
People should put in the comments below what they
Open
want
the
to see me
door,
do in the
close the
future.
door. Yeah, I think we should. Yeah. But you were testing all that, or you guys did the slamming of the car doors at the car show. See what it sounds like?
Cart above.
I caught a video. A guy recently did it. One of the YouTubers did a video on cars, and he was reviewing. I think it was the Jeep. Yeah, it was a new.
Oh, yeah,
it was a new
yeah.
Wrangler
It was,
392.
Based on the door
and he
close.
shut the freaking door just to
That's
see what it sounded
important.
like. And then he went inside and closed it to tell you what it sounds like
It was
inside.
a bad sounding door too.
That wasn't bad. It sounds.
It was
That's what
bad.
it sounds like.
It was bad.
But the funny thing is, he was. That's part of his review. It's
part of my review.
Yeah, he opens. That's
how I review cars. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so there you go.
Kind of.
Yeah, actually, I just saw that some sort of it was a new BMW, I think. Yeah, and they shut the door, and they weren't trying to review the door sound, but I was, and it was like, ugh,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't get this.
But these are natural sounds that you like. Kind of, you're just so accustomed to hearing, and you would know if it was off. You would know what a car door sounds like versus a fake door slam.
Yeah, but people don't listen to car doors and recordings too often.
No. But I'm just
uncommon.
saying it's the same deal where your reference would be what you experienced in real life.
So here's what you do. Got it all solved.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you wake up early in the morning. Whenever your local guitar center opens, you go in there, you hang out for like 4 or 5 hours or so. You listen to like 30, 40 people play Stairway really terribly. And then later that day, you find a local piano bar if you have one available.
Yeah.
Hang out over there for a
Dueling
few hours,
pianos,
right?
Oh,
actually.
that's cool.
Right. I think those are probably your two best candidates that are kind of accessible, depending on where you are in the globe. But guitar and piano, they have a pretty rich harmonic structure to them, and they can be difficult to replay properly.
That's true. If you enter a guitar center, there's always somebody playing something.
Pretty much.
Drum kit.
true.
You know?
Yeah, you got drums too.
Yeah, so you got they're playing the artificial drums. You're just hitting flat plates with sticks.
Yeah,
right?
that's a little different.
So that's fake, but
Yeah.
versus real.
well, that could help out your fake.
you can always
learning.
pick up a stick and go whack a real cymbal.
You get a bass line
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah,
Just
get
go and
center.
do it at a guitar
there
center.
You go, yeah.
and try
everyone go to
instruments.
guitar center and play with the instruments.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, spend a few hours there.
And then
I like
really
like those
annoy the
wood
sales
sticks.
guys.
Yeah.
They do have a nice.
They got
sound
all the
to
toys there.
them.
Yeah.
See,
Wood-
sorted.
Yeah. Wood boxes you can slap.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of sound effect things.
Mm-hmm.
Shakers.
A couple cowbells if you want
You can
that.
Cowbells.
play with some
Maybe something
lighting
needs
while
more
you're there.
cowbell.
Just brighten it up. Do a video. Do a YouTube video too. Just throw it up.
Yeah.
Oh, you think
In
they would
fact-
like that?
in fact,
Start a YouTube channel while you're at it.
I would like people that. That's right. I think people should send us their videos. They should
Okay.
do
Oh,
a
yeah.
YouTube video of them
Here I am.
practicing with
Oh,
the
boy.
instruments.
Trying things in a local guitar
Yeah, send
center.
us some videos, and we'll have and Douglas.
And we'll
here
talk about it in a future video.
Yeah, right. We'll say, okay, let's see how this guy. Let's see what this guy is trying or this person. You know, I would. What I would do is just take my phone, which everyone has, right, and let my kid play the freaking stuff. You know, like I'd say at least 5 years old and up. Throw him on the drum kit, just see what he does. I don't think the salesmen would be too.
Then
thrilled about
no,
that.
they will not.
Yeah,
But then you play back your recording and then see how much it differs from the real live event that you were at.
Exactly. Right.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, off a phone.
Well, that's not a great example.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not bad.
get some sort of external mic.
Oh,
to
no, that'd be
record.
nice. Yeah, a lapel. Not a lapel would
Nah.
work. I don't even know what kind of mic you get to plug into an iPhone, but they
They
got them
make-
all over
they
the
make
place.
'em, yeah.
You just need an adapter for it.
Couple dongles.
Yeah, a dongle. Yeah, with a whatever the hell the kind of
Well,
connector.
other than the shenanigans, I do
3.5
think that
millimeter.
having some degree of experience is helpful. If you're the type of person that's concerned about whether or not something's true to life or natural, actually hearing the native instrument is probably a good start, spending a little bit of time with that, because a lot of times you'll probably find that there's similar patterns. These things sound pretty uniform for the most part, and you could actually pick up discrepancies from like a digital synthetic type version of this instrument to the actual native instrument pretty easily on a lot of the gear. It's
are a lot
it's
better at it.
surprisingly easy to hear the minor discrepancies, and things like piano tend to be one of the more difficult things to recreate. But it is a lot more fickle than that. So you get this experience. You have a vague idea of what piano and guitar and cymbals and stuff sound like, but then it still doesn't sound like that in your headphones. That doesn't necessarily mean it's your gear. That doesn't mean it's your headphone. That doesn't mean it's your setup. How do you know how it was supposed to sound? Because, of course, there's some interpretation put into the creation of this media.
Well, the whole recording chain
Yeah.
has everything to do with it too. So the microphones being used, where they're placed, that you do a close mic situation where you shove a mic in the piano, and then obviously you'd also usually have mics external too to pick up what it sounds like, and then some blend of that is what you usually wind up with in a recording.
Right.
And some are worse than others with blending that or mixing or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, yeah, it's
Well, a good example is, I don't know what that CD was. It was like some demo CD or something. But remember that guy had one microphone in his garage?
Yeah, the triangle demo
It
CD.
was Triangle?
Yeah.
And yeah, he shut the garage door. He's like, I'm walking in front of through
He's
the
standing
garage
in
door in
his
front of him, and he
garage.
closed it, and then
Yeah.
he banged on the garage door.
oh right,
And that's like, yep, that's what it sounds like when
Yeah.
you hit a garage door.
Yeah.
Because there's just a simple setup, one mic in a
must have
garage.
been a single
It was
mic
just a
just sitting in the
sealed,
middle of the garage.
uninsulated
Yeah.
garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a Calrex Soundfield microphone.
Calrex Soundfield microphone.
Was that what it was?
Yep.
That's what he said.
I'm standing in my garage.
Yes, yes.
I
Yep.
still remember his accent.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was actually, that was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
that,
true.
That is what that sounds
That was on
like.
speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. At the time, we just had a 2-channel system going. It's like
Yeah.
scare the hell out of you.
It sounds like someone was banging on
Yeah.
an uninsulated steel garage door.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Everybody's got some experience with banging on
Brings
doors.
us right back
you
to
know?
closing the car doors and everything else. Where
Yeah.
it's all about experience.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the trouble with this thing when you're playing something back is a lot of times when something's recorded, mastered, produced, whatever you want to call it, by the time your ears hear it, there's some artistic flair put into it, right? Somebody's trying to make it sound the way they think it should. And so some people have different targets. Some people are listening on different setups than you are. And so sometimes how it sounds on your gear may in fact be the way it was supposed to sound, but not how it sounded if you were actually there.
Particularly with synthesized music, because I mean, you're
Yeah.
there layering all these sounds together. I mean, some of these guys we were talking about, they might have hundreds of layers just to create the music.
Yeah.
And we're talking layers where they, it's kind of like Photoshop, where you just put things
Kind
in
of,
front
yeah.
of things. Or you add reverb, you add this, you do this. So the original sound, whatever it was they were doing, a note,
Yeah.
isn't really the original note.
Yeah, it's
from
what
the
they
synth.
wanted it to
Right.
sound like.
Yeah, so it's difficult. And maybe they're going for a lifelike sound.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe they're going for bass impact or, just pure volume. Who the hell knows what they're going for? So synthesized could be anything you want it to be, right? That's why it's synthesized.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trouble, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like you need the experience. That's just an absolute necessity as a baseline. You need to have some degree of understanding of what these instruments and whatnot are supposed to sound like in real life. But then on top of that, you probably need to play back a multitude of different tracks from different artists and whatever, recording studios and whatnot, to be able to kind of gauge, to smooth out the irregularities and determine whether or not your system is in fact, on average, close to what the original instruments were supposed to sound like. Because sometimes you might have some outliers. Some people just don't want it to sound like how it was when you're there.
Yeah,
Or
really.
where they
That
had
is
the
true.
mics placed or the types of mics used. Maybe it doesn't really sound how it would be when you're 15 feet away. So it is a really difficult conundrum in this particular situation.
Find a really well done live recording. I mean, you find people recommending this stuff all the time.
Yeah, I think like the classic example is Jazz at the Pawn Shop.
Yeah, the old
It was
school
like
jazz at the
super
pawn shop.
simple, as I recall. It was like he had like 2 mics and like a tape recorder.
Yeah.
And that was
And these
it.
guys just sat down in
Yeah.
the middle of some, I don't know what it was. It was like a bar nightclub type thing, and they just
Yeah,
started playing.
something.
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
still sounds
Really
freaking
airy.
good. That was in the
Yeah.
80s. They did that.
I think it was in the 70s.
Was it?
Yeah.
It still sounds good today. But yeah, you hear everything. You hear
Yeah.
glasses in the background and things happening.
Yeah,
People
people talking, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just playing right in the middle of it.
Simple.
Yeah. So yeah, good call. Jazz at the Pawn Shop will give
That's
you
not
an
a bad start.
idea because it is a live recording and it was in the moment. I don't think they messed with it. They just
Yeah, no.
recorded. They did a bang up job right at the get go, and it became a CD or whatever, an album at the time.
Hmm.
Did they have an album version of that? Did I ever get the album?
You don't
I
have
don't
it.
know.
I think I looked, but now I don't remember.
Nah.
I don't know.
I don't know. They must have at that time.
Is there like an artist for that? How would you find that? You just type Jazz in the Pawn Shop into
Yeah.
the
Jazz
internet?
at the Pawn Shop.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else titled that.
All right.
I
Yeah.
can't think of the artist. So yeah, I think Jazz at the Pawn Shop's available on vinyl too,
Yep.
which is probably pretty cool.
SACD too. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, you have it in DSD, right?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Someone
it's
gave me a high-res
available on
copy.
Everything.
Yeah,
now.
which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool recording. So yeah, there you go.
Everyone
Listen
has
to
their
that.
checklist.
Yeah.
You need to go to a guitar center, a piano bar, and buy the Jazz at the Pawn Shop vinyl.
Yeah.
That gives you your baseline knowledge and calibration to determine whether or not your gear is, how does this person word it, true to life.
True to life.
Yeah.
The piano bars are cool. I don't think we have any around here.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God, I want to go.
Everyone has piano bars.
I saw it 100 years ago. I one of the CESs. I was at some piano bar in Vegas, and they had dueling pianos.
Yeah. They're
And
still
it's,
there.
it's wow. There was hundreds of people just
Yeah. There's
a
watching
bug.
this thing. And
Yep.
anyway,
Okay.
it's pretty cool because these people really pound the shit out of
It
these
can
pianos.
get there. Yeah.
I mean, I imagine they got to retune them every time they're done with this because I've never seen pianos played that hard before
Apparently
for
they
so
take
long.
it.
But yeah,
Well, there's a guy on the YouTubes that does that with his pianos on the internet. So,
Oh yeah.
apparently pianos are pretty stout,
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
But YouTube would be boring. Like, there's no way you'd realize the dynamics unless you're in front of these.
No,
things.
you don't.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
hard to really
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, you didn't think a piano would play that loud.
Yeah, they play
Then again, the first time I sat in front of a drum kit with someone playing it,
drums. Yeah,
that's
same
pretty
thing.
freaking loud too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like a Top Fuel dragster.
Yeah.
Not quite that loud.
Not quite.
A little quieter than that.
Yeah, but
Uh,
still.
whatever's the next notch below that. But
Yeah.
two
With
notches below because the Nitro Funny car probably.
No. It's like a quarter mile away from a NASCAR. So everyone has their checklist. They know what they're tasked to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably thinking right now, where can I get this sick mug like this?
Yeah.
Look at this
I know.
Abyss branded mug.
It's even got like.
Who wouldn't want 2 or 3 of these?
Yeah.
I could use one.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
In fact, I actually have a vague idea where you could get this, in case you were curious. AbyssStore.com.
Yeah.
We just got 10 more subscribers, in case you didn't hear the little noise. It's pretty fun, right?
Oh,
I heard
cool.
it.
People just saw this sick advertisement.
Did these actually pick that up good?
Probably. I don't know. People hear it. We got the level up sound thing for the thing to do
That's
the thing.
good. That's good.
Yeah. We also have pillows, T-shirts,
Yeah,
all
Abyss
kinds
Store.
of merch. AbyssStore.com.
AbyssStore.com. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Anyways,
Yeah.
if anyone out there has any questions for a future video, you could send it to us at totl@abyssheadphones.com. Maybe we'll answer it on a future episode. Until then, give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Say subscribe to see more content like this. Let us know what you'd like to see in a future video in the comments below. And take care.
Take care.